If you're giving up alcoholic beverages for Lent, then you're really going to enjoy this segment because we're about to show you how to make some cool and refreshing mocktails. Christa Cotton, the CEO of the New Orleans Beverage Group, is here with her El Guapo line of bitters, syrups, and mixers. And of course, Eat Fit's Molly Kimball is back here in the kitchen to tell us why what Christa will be mixing is not only tasty, but nutritious and fun to drink. So thank you for joining us and thank you for sticking around.
Yes, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited about this mocktail concept because I actually don't really drink alcoholic beverages. So this is really, to me, a really cool thing for people to incorporate, especially because there's so many benefits. Now, first of all, tell us what exactly is a mocktail and how many variations are there?
So a mocktail is just essentially a cocktail with no alcohol, and there are myriad inspirations you could take. There are literally infinite possibilities.
And Molly, tell us why people should kind of stay away from alcohol in general. I mean, I can only assume that there are probably zero Eat Fit approved alcoholic beverages, but maybe a lot of mocktail beverages?
We actually do have Eat Fit cocktails.
Oh, you do?
Yes. So the reason mocktails is so big for us right now, of course, in New Orleans, it's Lent, and we have something that we call Alcohol Free for 40. So it's an Alcohol Free for 40 challenge that we do. This is our 4th year doing it, and we encourage people that if they're going to give up alcohol for Lent anyway, which a lot of people do give up something, and that something's often alcohol, to do their labs, do a lot of health metrics before and after. And so we actually had our kickoff party at Asher Fitness Center where we did people's labs, their inflammatory markers, liver enzymes, close-up picture of your face so you can see what's happening. So even if you didn't come to the event and have that done, do it yourself. Take over of your own face. Body composition, how are your clothes fitting, muscle mass, hydration status. Then we do it all again at the end of the challenge. So you're seeing what's really happening inside of your body with this. So one of the big things is, what do you do instead? People ask, how do I do this? If I'm going to give up alcohol and not have my cocktail, it's the replacement behaviors that are key, and that's where Christa comes in, because with things like bitters, you're really able to make things that feel and function like a cocktail, right, but it's a mocktail.
Now, your company makes bitters, syrups, and mixers. And did you bring examples of all, or just the bitters today?
So today I just have bitters, since that's what we're focusing on for the cocktail that we're making today. Our syrups do have sugar added, so they don't fit with Molly's plan for the Eat Fit challenge.
But not your bitters, right? Your bitters don't have sugar.
That's correct. So all of our bitters are no sugar added. They're locally sourced whenever possible, and if we can't find the ingredient locally, then we only purchase from third-party verified sources that organically. So we try to get the absolute best quality products that we can. All of our bitters are also non-alcoholic, which is great. There are 2 different ways to make bitters. There's an alcoholic version. Angostura and Peychaud's are both over 40% alcohol by volume. Ours are non-alcoholic, which is another reason why they work with Molly and her challenge.
And the mocktail we're making today is the Big Easy Cucumber Cooler, right?
Correct.
So can you show us how we can make this at home if we wanted to?
Absolutely. So to make this at home, you would just slice up a cucumber before you get started.
And it smells so yummy already.
Thank you.
Very fresh.
So you just add a few to your liking. I usually use 2, but you can use however much you'd like.
And can they be, I see they're kind of thick slices. Is that okay, or does it matter?
For muddling, I like to use thick slices so that you get more of the pulp in the actual drink.
That makes sense.
And then you want to add a teaspoon to a tablespoon, just kind of depending on how bitter you like your cocktail, of our cucumber lavender bitters. I do this often, so I'm just eyeballing it today, but you want to put it in there and then grab a muddler. If you don't have a muddler at home, you can actually just use the back end of a wooden spoon. You don't need to go out and spend $30 on some fancy tool at Williams and Sonoma.
That's a good substitution.
But yeah, just muddle it and break down break down the cucumbers. It can be fun to do, anger management, if you will. But once you have it all broken down in the bottom of your cocktail shaker,
I smell it too.
It smells really nice.
You just want to add a few pieces of ice, and then once you shake it.
How long do you have to shake it?
Just until it's well chilled, usually 5 to 10 seconds. It just kind of depends on how cold you like your drink.
And I thought this was really cool. So when we first started doing Alcohol Free for 40, I didn't have experience with bitters, and I didn't realize that a lot of bitters actually have alcohol in them. So one of our first mocktails, I was so proud. We had this mocktail with some bitters in it. I thought it was fantastic, tasted like a cocktail. One of our readers pointed out that it's, as Christa said, 40% alcohol in the bitters. But fortunately, the recipe was only literally 2 drops of it.
And it looks like it's totally fun to drink. Tell us about your company, though. You have certain policies. I mean, it's non-GMO. Can you tell us a little bit, vegetarian? I mean, this is all things that you really wouldn't find in a beverage company, right?
Absolutely. So we are one of the only New Orleans companies to ever be recognized by the Good Food Foundation. They're the only awards body in America that is giving out awards based on taste, but also your procurement practices and how sustainable your products are. So last year we won 2 different awards, one for our bitters and one for our syrups, and then this year we won for 2 different products, one which was a bitter and another syrup of ours. So we really pay attention to our sourcing. We work as closely as possible with our farmers. You'll hear us talking about Covey Rice Farms on the North Shore. We work with Inglewood Farms, which is more to the west of us. But we really try to get to know our farmers on a personal level and source the highest quality ingredients that we can to make the best products possible right here in New Orleans.
So, Christa, tell us about these, because these are both very pretty, but this one looks very, very sophisticated.
So Molly has a rule that you can only use so much juice per drink. I don't know exactly the standard, but the one on the left has a tablespoon of our Cuban bitters. They're sour and they're orange based, but they're very delicious. They're one of our more subtle flavors. So a tablespoon of that with 1 ounce of orange juice. We put in some mint and muddled it all up, and then we topped it with club soda and garnished it with a strawberry.
This looks like a fun one to drink. But these are so pretty in these little glasses, and it looks like there are strawberries, I see.
Yes, so this is one of my favorites. I really like fruit-forward drinks. So we put a tablespoon of our summer berries bitters in. That's our summer seasonal Ponchatoula strawberries are already on store shelves. You can find them around the city. So we used 2 of those. We muddled those with a tablespoon of our summer berries bitters and some basil, and shook that in a shaker, strained it into the glass, and then we topped it with some club soda and garnished it with some fresh basil leaves.
And I'm sorry, what was the name of this one again?
So that is the Ponchatoula Summer Sipper.
Oh, that's a fun name. So, Christa, tell us how people can find you on the internet. How can they find out more about your company?
So we are very active on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those things, at El Guapo Bitters. And then our website is elguapobitters.com. You can also buy all of these products online, and in the New Orleans area, we do free next day delivery.
And Molly, if someone wants to find out about mocktails for Eat Fit, how can they find out more on your website?
Yeah, so we have the Alcohol Free for 40 challenge. We have a link to it through eatfitnola.com, and that'll take you to the full information, kind of all the details about it. As you said, the kickoff event with the lab testing has already passed, but it's not too late to start. So if you go, man, I'm just now hearing about it, you can do it anytime.
You can do it anytime?
And if you don't do it for 40 days, you do it for 20. Some people say, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do it for 4. Do it for 4. Like whatever you feel like is going to be kind of that challenge for you. And again, whether someone's Catholic or not, people give up something for Lent, and it's kind of just a fun challenge. And especially after Mardi Gras and all the
Did you dry out a little bit?
Oh, yeah. So, yes, lots of different resources that we have. And I think the biggest thing is when someone's thinking about, okay, I'm going to give up alcohol, we've got to find what am I going to do instead, because just switching to plain old water isn't going to cut it for most people.
Right.
So,
especially in this town.
Yeah, what's going to be in your toolkit to make it successful for you?
Well, this is a wonderful demonstration, and it looks so pretty. I mean, these glasses, the presentation was wonderful, Christa. Thank you so much for bringing these products to our show. And thank you, Molly, for sticking around for 2 segments. We love having you on all the time. And don't go away, because we will be right back.